and welcome back to FrogClan. Today we are picking up where we left off, and I'm actually using my microphone this time, I hope. Double triple checking, it looks like we are all good this go. So thank you all for your patience last time. We still had amazing luck with our cats despite the technical problem, so fingers crossed that sticks. The cats are also in a very zoomy mood, so if you hear a lot of roughhousing and things getting thrown around, that would be them. So, without too much further ado, we are going to go ahead and jump into our time skips. So time has taken its toll, and Jirachi Lightning has noticed themselves slowing down. Having worked timelessly for many moons, they need to retire. So Jirachi Lightning is officially Grandma Jirachi Lightning now. Pumpkin Paw has reached the age of 6 moons and has been made an apprentice. Surprising Hyacinth Petal, the first thing that Shine Paw does after their ceremony is gather moss, just to make sure everybody has enough. There seems to be an infection growing in Snipstar's broken bone. Websen's sprain is healed. Dust Apple's yellow cough is gone. Fleetleaf overexerted himself and is feeling extremely sore. World Apple's bitten by a snake but has miraculously survived. Hyacinth Petal no longer has a running nose. Scratchpaw's running nose has finally stopped running. Pumpkin Kit is no longer bruised. Clan Medicine Cat comes asking if we have raspberry to spare. We graciously allow them to take some of ours. Lagoon Feather was seen chasing a rogue off the territory. Hyacinth Petal received a present, Juniper from Hair Shadow, and decides to keep it with them on their pelt. Alright, got quite a few things, but I'm most excited for this. So Pumpkin Paw is wondering kitty pet life is really so bad. Grew to be a fierce and oddly observant apprentice. Shine Paw is proclaiming unwavering loyalty to their mentor. Loyal and oddly observant. Here's Jirachi Lightning, our currently only elder. Mouse Kit is a little bit more grown up, insecure, interested in clan history, and is pretending to be clan leader. Here's Conifer Kit, also a little bit more grown up. She is impulsive and fascinated by prophecies, so since she does technically have a trait, she could be a medicine cat. And here's Scale Kit, who's quiet, also fascinated by prophecies. Same sort of thing there. Not too bad. I'll go see how everyone's doing. So Snipstar's broken bone is still infected, eavesdropping on Dust Apple right now. I do think I'm gonna make Leonel Fern a mediator. Grumpy or not, they can still help take care of the clan. And mediators are very important in this challenge because we need them to help make relationships go. Speaking of, Snake Fern and Stinky Laurel seem to be doing pretty good. Here's Hyacinth Petal with the Juniper, very, very cute. Okay, there's not really too much else going on, fortunately, so we'll jump into patrols. While Shinepaw and Hyacinth Petal are out walking, Shinepaw seems preoccupied. Their dreams have been filled with shadows and images. Shinepaw isn't a kid anymore, and though Hyacinth Petal tries to be gentle about it, they make it clear to Shinepaw's responsibility that they're rested and attentive for training. Gardenia's son really helps Pumpkin Paw gain confidence working with other cats. Since Gore's Paw's mentor is down, Brighthorn will take them out. They aren't acting like their usual self, and Brighthorn guides Gore's Paw gently to her side, asking what's wrong. Gore's Paw feels like a failure and that they're not doing good enough. Brighthorn gently tugs him close, murmuring that Gore's Paw is more than their failures. All they can do is try not to make the same mistake twice. I'm so sorry for any cat noises in the background. They are really going at it. Senpai, what's wrong? Dust Apple takes Evening Paw out, but doesn't step up to teach. What was Dust Apple expecting, for Evening Paw to lead the patrol? Maybe. While training together, Scratchpaw starts an argument with Stinky Laurel about the technique they're working on. With a deep sigh, Stinky Laurel holds back their temper and instead sits down to explain their reasoning to the young cat. They can see why Scratchpaw thinks differently, but practicing this way will help Scratchpaw build muscle better than taking the cheap way out. Scratchpaw also sighs, apologizing for the outbursts. Here Shadow sees 2 kids from FrogClan playing close to the border. We will proceed there. We order the patrol to go back to camp, and Lagoon Feather stays behind to help the kits, bringing them back to FrogClan's camp with a badger ride. They are greeted with relief and laughter, and relationships with FrogClan have improved. Our patrol hears desperate screams coming from a nearby lake. This never ends up well for us, so I'm tempted to not go, but I think with the cats we have, they'd try. We race towards the sound. We're puzzled when we see only a lone two-leg, but the grim realization soon dawns. Jumping into action, the FrogClan cats startle the two-leg into letting go of the bag. While the rest of the patrol claws the ankles of the now furious two-leg, Jellyfish Wave and K-Speckle quickly and quietly get the old shivering cat out of sight, promising them safety and welcome in FrogClan as long as they like. So it was just Whimsy Shade clawing up this two-leg while Jellyfish Wave and K-Speck saved Finquill. Let's take a look at Finquill. So here's Finquill, looking around the camp with wonder. She's a senior female at 222 moons old. Just a little old there. She is charismatic with steady paws, a speckled white pelt with a spiky bell collar accessory. This is what she looks like healthy. That's what she looked like younger. And she's hurt with a broken jaw, poor thing. So hopefully we can get her a bit better healed up anyway. Moving into Moon 132, Sipsar arrests their muzzle on Scratchheart's head and declares them to be a full warrior, honoring their hard work. Sipsar calls the clan to meeting and declares Gore's-Paw to be a warrior. They are now called Gore-Stance, I love that, and are celebrated for their observance. Sipsar's wound is no longer infected. Jirachi Lightning has gotten a running nose. Fleetleaf's soreness is gone. Maple Dawn's wound is no longer infected. Seagull Paw will always feel their grief, but time has softened it at least a little. Furby Shine has recovered from Yellow Cough. Also, not sorry for the thumbnail around Furby last time. I just couldn't pass up the opportunity. Snake Fern tossed a snake out of camp before it could bite someone. Holly Fern is proud of how well they're doing as a mediator. We're proud too. Looks like Maple Dawn is also feeling a little bit better. And Stinky Laurel is feeling happy. I really like her. So here's Scratchheart. He grew to be grumpy with steady paws. Scratchheart was mentored by Stinky Laurel, who influenced him to be more likely to stay collected, try to avoid violence, and be friendly towards others. When they graduated, they did so for their hard work. And then here's Gore-Stance, who grew to be compassionate and an eloquent speaker. Mentored by World Apple, who influenced them to be more likely to break rules that don't suit them and resort to violence. World Apple helped them become better at arguing. When they graduated, they were honored for their observance. Whitepaw is still grieving, which really concerns me because A, she's gonna spend like all of her apprentice years grieving, but also that could lead into lasting grief, which will just be sad for a child to go through. Seagull Paw, on the other hand, is currently acting angsty, so he's feeling a bit better. Looks like Gardenia Sun and Tiny Slash are developing some feelings, maybe. And Gardenia Sun also has a little crush on Lagoon Feather, who returns it. So we may have some interesting blooming relationships there. Purely for practicality purposes with mutations, I think I'm gonna pair Lagoon Feather and Gardenia Sun them. We'll mediate them and see how that goes as well. It goes well. It's just a straight line, so it's not a very compatible pairing, but neither would this be, so there we go. Not bad. They'll just have to work a bit harder. Alright, I think that's about it, so I think we'll just randomize Maple Dawn's last mediator, and we'll go to patrols. Snake Fern gathers some dandelion. Fleetleaf is distracted and is unable to find any herbs. Fleetleaf couldn't find anything last time too, so I'm definitely considering switching Fleetleaf over to Warrior and maybe making a different kit and Apprentice Medicine Cat. Curldon gathers some oak. Cheyenne Paw gets a little bit of a taste of what octopi do when it suddenly lunges after a little fish. Gardenia Sun takes Pumpkin Paw out for some one-on-one time. And while they do bask together, Pumpkin Paw is too stiff and polite for it to be considered proper bonding time. Gardenia's son will have to try something else. Dust Apple actually takes charge this time, coordinates exercises for the two. They practice weaving around an opponent, feeling more confident in their teamwork. Seagull Paw gets into an argument with Hair Shadow about the technique that they're using. Hair Shadow rolls their eyes, as amused by the Apprentices' audacity as they are annoyed. I mean, that really checks out with Seagull Paw acting angsty before. Our patrol finds a kitty pet who's interested in joining. Though they decline politely, the descriptions of clan life seem to frighten the kitty pet. We met 7. I'm curious what 7 looked like. So here's 7, a very interesting dark brown masked tabby. Nervous Prophet. Skystalk sees dark clouds on the horizon and wonders if we should continue. We'll use a pass and not proceed. Bright Torrent takes Scratch Heart out for a little bit of a boosted experience, and we hear a cat begging for their household to come back. Unfortunately, we aren't there in time to save the kitty pet. It was hit by another monster. Bright Torrent silently sends a prayer for the kitty pet, and our relationship with outsiders has sadly worsened. Whimsy Shade ends up following their own paw prints. Dust Apple gives Evening Paw a friendly nudge when the leader calls the young cat's name. They watch with pride as Evening Paw sets forward to receive their new name, Evening Thorn, and are honored for their empathy. Finquill died from a broken jaw. That's really unfortunate, but really the elder cats that we save almost never make it for long anyway. But they've taken their place in StarClan and we mourn their loss. Simpsar is healed from the broken bone. World Apple's healed from the snake bite they got. The only unfortunate part about both of those is that there's no mention of new scars. Whitepaw tells himself they can't let those healings consume them, instead they have to learn to live with it. Whitepaw then got a running nose and overdid their last battle training session and has been wincing all day. Seems they're a bit bruised. So it sounds like Whitepaw is trying to make up for lost time. A little bit too much now. Shinepaw trained extra hard to impress their mentor, but was a bit too rough with their body and has the bruises to show it. So maybe Shinepaw and Whitepaw together went a bit too far in a practice session together. Luckily, Tiny Slash has recovered from birth. Gore Sans was seen racing along the border with a rival from FrogClan. Tarachi Lightning and Snipstar broke up. Whimsy Shade and Frozen Stem take a late night patrol out of camp to watch the sunrise. Gardenia's son Lagoon Feather broke up. Gore Sans was seen racing along the border. So, Gardenia's son Lagoon Feather, I'll double check and make sure there wasn't like something that really happened with relationships. Same with Tarachi Lightning. Just because, like, there's just been something with the relationships lately that cats that don't have any really negative traits just aren't maintaining relationships. So let's see how that's going. Tarachi Lightning lost a lot of feeling for Snipstar, so we can probably just let that lie. But Gardenia's son Lagoon Feather don't have any real reason not to, so I'm gonna make them mates again. It was definitely a bit lower than what it was previously, so we'll also mediate them. Since they're not compatible, they'll probably have a harder time making and maintaining these relationships, but we've got to try. So I just checked out Whimsy Shade and Frozen Sim, since they were caught on a moonlit walk or whatever. There's a little bit of a budding romance there, so we will go ahead and mediate that a bit more and see if there's anything we can do for that. Not too bad. Baby steps. And they are compatible, so I'll try them out together. Stinky Laurel wants to be chosen as new deputy. I really wouldn't mind having Stinky Laurel possibly becoming a deputy. As crazy as it is to say, Brighthorn is technically getting into her senior adult years. I don't foresee her giving up deputy position very readily, so I can see her being a constant patroller well into her elder times. But it's still something to be aware of. Dust Apple can't wait to take a nap later. That is a mood, Dust Apple. So here's Gore Stance, a bit more grown up now. And here's Scratch Heart, who I totally mistook for Webstem, because he is a spitting image of Webstem. He's still grumpy with steady paws, and is basically just a darker version of Websum there, huh? And Gore Sands is still compassionate and an eloquent speaker. Evening Thorn here is wanting to watch the sunset. He agreed to be compassionate with unnatural senses. I did get a request for Evening Mist, which I do really like. I do like Evening Thorn as well, but we can change to Evening Mist. Perfect. And White Paw is having a hard time keeping up with training. That does check out. Bruised with a running nose, poor thing. Seagull Paw, by comparison, has made leaps and bounds in their training. 10 versus 40 experience. Pumpkin Paw is in trouble after scratching Finquill during an argument. Oh no, Pumpkin Paw. Finquill was really old and hurt. How could you? I always loved this for the quiet kids. Is too good at playing hide and seek. Our clan is really growing though. Just look at how many cats we have now. And how many of those have come in the last like 6 moons. I don't even know what those ratios are, but I'm hoping we can keep it going. Snakefern gets some lungwort for us. Fleetleaf does gather some dandelion. And Curldon gets some juniper. Whimsy Shade fails to step up to teach White Paw. What was she expecting for White Paw to lead the training? I mean, in all fairness, I think White Paw is Whimsy Shade's first real apprentice, and White Paw has been out of it for a long time. So Whimsy Shade probably is also having to learn how to teach. Seagull Paw has been having weird dreams of shadows and images. Hair Shadow listens sympathetically, gently nodding. They've been dealing with a lot, and while Hair Shadow isn't too sure what to do, they can offer support and time away from Seagull Paw's troubles. That alone is already enough to make Seagull Paw's ears stop drooping. Shine Paw watches a massive creature the tides have washed in with wide eyes, tail twitching with excitement. Hyacinth Petal tries to point out the hooked beak as it lazily waves a tentacle ever so temptingly under the surface of the water. These octopi are really deceiving, it seems, and a constant source of temptation. And Pumpkin Paw has the exact same experience, maybe even with the same octopus out in the tide pools with Gardenia's son. I can totally see FrogClan living on the beach, like having one particular pool that they know an octopus lives in, always going back to that, and just being like, yep, this is Longarm. He is our octopus. Watch but don't touch, please, children. Bright Torrent sees our clouds on the horizon. We wonder if we should continue. We are not going to proceed. Just never worth it. As the patrol is marking the border lines, a gang of rogues burst from the beach. It's an ambush. Well, we have Snipsar with us and a couple of fighters, it looks like. At least fierce traits. And I don't really see Snipsar backing down. Taken by surprise, we scatter and lose cohesion. The rogues are quick to take advantage of the confusion, and Lagoon Feather is badly wounded, forcing the patrol to retreat. Lagoon Feather got a claw wound. That definitely could have been a lot worse, but definitely could have been better. Scratch Heart notices some suspicious paw prints in the sand on the beach. Bully Tiny Slash follows the paw prints to a trespassing rogue and confronts them. Intimidated by Tiny Slash's confidence and number of cats, they leave without a fight. Tiny Slash really seems to take command of any patrol that he's on, and I'm really glad that this one was a very combat-oriented one anyway, since Tiny Slash is bloodthirsty. It's not always good for him to be doing that. Stinky Laurel finds a loner who offers healing skills in exchange for shelter. That is perfect. The new medicine cat is welcomed into the clan. Song has joined. Let's check out Song. So Song's an adult male with green-yellow eyes, a gray Sakoki and white pelt. This particular mark here almost looks like the tail curling back up and around, and the tail is white. But no, the tail goes back around that way. He is insecure and a formidable fighter, so not great for medicine cats, but we'll see if he comes with any traits, and that's going to decide his fate anyway. He does come with one trait, Let's see what that is. So Song has folded ears. And just randomizing his name, Songjay is getting used to his new home. We can technically keep him on as a medicine cat, the question is just if we want to. I think between these two at least, Fleetleaf makes more sense going over to the warrior side as well. So we'll switch to warrior there. And we'll kind of keep evaluating our medicine cats as we go. Right now we can take care of 48 cats, which may sound like a lot, but this is what? 30 cats here, and we're almost at 2 pages of cats, so that's almost 60 cats. And I'm really hoping that Conifer Kit or Scale Kit will also take interest. If need be, we'll switch Fleetleaf back over to Medicine Cat, since she does have the training, and we'll kind of keep evaluating. But I think these 3 are a bit better suited than Fleetleaf would be. And Songjay, I'm gonna say, just takes the opportunity to wander around our territory, getting a bit more acquainted with where some herbs may be, but doesn't find anything useful to bring back. And I think we'll go one more moon, and maybe a bit longer of an episode, but the cats were interrupting me a lot, so I can't tell if it's actually going to turn out longer. Just some health things mostly. So Jirachi Lightning no longer has a running nose. Maple Dawn has gotten a running nose though. White Paw is no longer bruised. The running nose is also gone. Shine Paw's bruises are gone as well. Snakebird has gotten a stomach ache, as has Mouse Kit, and Furby Shine has gotten a running nose. So I think the allergies are hitting us pretty hard this moon. Dust Apple was seen touching noses with a loner, Scandalous, and Maple Dawn went missing for a few days. I mean, Maple Dawn is a mediator, so she could have wandered off to some other clan territory to try and settle some dispute there. Guess we won't know. Sipsar really hasn't been up to much these past couple moons, so sorry we're not featuring her a lot. Brighthorn is feeling a burning desire to prove himself worthy of leadership, however. I mean, she's really come a long way since that kit we first picked up, however long ago now. Narrow head, venomous teeth, stinger tail, and tiny paws. And 3 of those I think are from 3 separate scars. So she's really had to push through a lot to get to where she is now. Websim is thinking about StarClan, maybe wondering when or if the last sign is going to come for the last event. Hair Shadow wants to talk to Maple Dawn about something, which may be a little hard as she went missing for a bit. And Dust Apple wants to play a prank on her. Lagoon Feather is asking the Medicine Cat for herbs that may help them in battle. I mean, given the fact that Lagoon Feather was the only warrior that was injured in the last scuffle, and him being fierce, I can see that really rubbing him the wrong way. Now, Lagoon Feather being fierce, he also probably threw himself at the rogues first while everyone else tried to regroup. So that also probably put him in harm's way in the first place. You know, chicken or egg there. Fleetleaf is feeling excited. I mean, I think that kind of goes to show that she really does prefer to be a warrior at the end of the day. So here's White Paw a bit more grown up. Still daring and quick to help, but she is a very pretty cat with her goody white and silver pelt, really. Seagulpaw is also daring, quick to make peace, but also is now oddly observant. And he is looking a bit more grown up too. Pumpkin Paw is practicing some battle moves, and Shine Paw also wants to be a fierce warrior someday. Snakefern gathers some marigold. Songjay with his pattern doesn't manage to gather anything this time either. Curldawn gathers some moss though. Shine Paw is acting a little off, so Hyacinth Petal gently asks them to sit, wondering what's wrong. Shine Paw feels like a failure and that they're not doing enough. Hyacinth Paw gently tugs him close, mirroring that Shine Paw is more than failure. It hurts, yes, but they need to not make the same mistake twice. Pumpkin Paw is arguing with Gardenia's son, who rolls their eyes as amused by the Apprentices' audacity as they are annoyed. Whimsy Shade and White Paw have a nice practice session together. Frozen Stem spies a fat rabbit on the other side of the border. Tempting opportunity, but it may not be wise to hunt another clan's territory. It's probably not wise, but we don't really have passes, so we're gonna have to proceed. Frozen Sim trots back over the border, prize in tow, and transgression unnoticed. Best possible outcome. Dust Apple follows some paw prints to a trespassing rogue, confronting them. Intimidated by confidence, a number of cats, they give in and leave without a fight. Our patrol hears a cat begging for their housefolk to come back. Sinky Laurel finds the kitty pet collapsed by the thunderpath, waiting for their housefolk. Sinky Laurel, having been in this position before, comforts them. The only explanation is that they're sick and maybe a burden. We offer them a place in FrogClan, at least until they're better. And Comfrey Nip has joined the clan. Let's check them out. So Comfrey Nip is sick with white cough. He's an adult male with bronze eyes and a rosette pelt. Don't really see that from here, it looks plain white. He's gloomy but an excellent teacher. Yeah, I do not see the rosettes at all. He looks pure white to me. I'm also gonna change his name. Comfrey Ash is not too bad. I just want something a bit easier to say, I suppose. And let's see if Comfrey Ash comes with any traits. Comfrey Ash is keeping the train going. We actually have multiple traits. This is getting kind of crazy, not gonna lie. And he comes with a max number of traits. I promise you guys, I am not manipulating this in any way. I am just getting very lucky. I switched to an online dice because it was just getting really hard to maintain the physical stuff. And I guess those like me a little bit better. So we got 5 traits. Let's see what they are. Okay, so Comfrey Ash comes with a seal nose, fuzzy ears, poisonous blood, scaly tail, and tiny paws. I will say, as much as it stinks that we're having this much luck later on in the game, now's when we need it because we're going into the hardest of the extinction events. So, like, it does stink we weren't getting this lucky sooner on, but I'm definitely not complaining about it right now. In any case, though, I'm gonna go ahead and see if we've got any other cats coming in. Our patrol hears desperate screams coming from a nearby lake. I think we've got to at least try. We race towards the sound, binding the two-leg with the bag over the water. While the rest of the patrol claws the ankles of the furious two-leg, Sitsar and Skystalk quickly and quietly get the old shivering cat out of sight. And Loki has joined the clan. I just finished up Loki on Disney Plus, and oh my goodness, that's all I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna go into spoilers, but if you can, watch it. So Loki here is a very interesting gray and black masked cat. Senior adult male with dark blue eyes. He is thoughtful and with a learner of lore trait and a white bell collar accessory. Aw, he's got head damage. Poor guy. This is what he looks like healthy. And this is what he would have looked like a bit younger. He's got a very interesting patch around his muzzle there. Really suits him in his old age, though. And fittingly, I think we'll go with Loki mask. Our patrol cautiously moves towards the sound of barking, and there is a dog chasing something that it turns out to be a cat. We'll proceed here. We jump swiftly into action, capturing the dog's attention, drawing it away. Scratchheart stays hidden and goes to the cat while the rest of the patrol lures it away entirely. The cat is unharmed, and the display of bravery makes them want to join the clan. Hatchpelt has joined the clan. So here's Hatchpelt. He's responsible, incredibly clever, and a lore keeper. It looks like he does have a scar, so he should be coming with at least one trait there, but we'll roll just to see if it's more. Nope, so he's just coming with the one. And we'll make it on his tail just to keep things a bit exciting there. So Hatchpelt comes in with a prehensile tail. Not bad at all. And I think we'll go ahead and leave it off there. Our luck is holding. I really hate to say that because it's all going to collapse as soon as I start to get really excited about it. But we're honestly looking pretty good. Knock on all the wood that you can. So fingers crossed, we keep this going as long as we can, and then we can be as prepared as we need to be for Moon 150. I do hope that you all are enjoying. Don't forget to check out the description for social media things, as well as liking and subscribing if you've gotten to this point already. So, until then, stay safe and happy. I will see you then. Bye!